Get it up.
Monica has just got the state record for squat. She performed well, she did her best, but not just is her programming going well, but also her response to feedback. Welcome to harvestingstrength.com.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey guys, welcome to Harvesting Strength. Today we're going to talk about feedback and performance. So, the industry of not just health and fitness, but strength sports has grown tremendously. I haven't been involved in the social media game for that long of a time, but I do know that, a lot of different people are out there for various reasons. You got the people who can make these cool, popular workouts, and then you got these people who are, proclaimed specialists like deadlift specialists or, things like that. And for me, I kept thinking, what's my niche? Where do I fit into all this? And I think one of the biggest things I've grown and developed is just, how much I enjoy giving feedback and educating people on their movement. So at the beginning of the video, you saw Monica, okay? She hit a state record, a Georgia state record, 192 pounds for the 114 pound weight class. Great job, but that was actually her third lift, and it was actually very easy. So in a minute, we're gonna look at the videos afterwards, but we're gonna see her second lift, which was a no lift. Okay, she got red lights for it. And then her third lift, which was the one from before, which was super easy. Now, the whole concept of feedback, we remember our coaches in high school telling us, hey, hit the person harder, tackle harder, run faster. That is feedback, but is it appropriate feedback, or rather, is it helpful feedback? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to talk to people about, how to displace the weight correctly, better technique, and just to give them the feedback, which is going to trigger that nervous system into working more effectively and sending that message throughout the body. Now, if you pump the brakes real quick, bringing up the nervous system kind of sounds like a big leap from just talking about things into that internal process towards learning and things like that. When it comes to the nervous system. So what essentially I'm trying to tell you guys is the feedback with the nervous system goes hand in hand in this sense, okay? Your brain to your spinal cord, your central nervous system out to the body. You're talking about the central nervous system out to the peripheral nervous system. There's communication that exists, okay, between those, between the body and external factors and whatnot, and it's all going to relate to the neurons. So we have two types of neurons, afferent and efferent. Okay, so afferent is going to send the information to our body. Now afferent, okay, which is kind of known as like sensory neurons, those are going to tell us things about our performance or what we're doing to make us kind of correct ourselves or kind of how to adapt to the situation. So that could be things where it's like, ooh, I kind of feel a little bit of a pain in my knee. Or it could be, oh, I'm running, the ground feels flat or unstable, what should I do? Or it could be anything else, maybe like heat, certain, forms of touch. But another form of afferent sensory, or not sensory, but just afferent neurons can respond to would be feedback, an outside stimulus, which would be, coaching cues and stuff like that. So when you watch the second video to the third video, there wasn't direct coaching in that sense, okay? But let's say there was. Let's say I told Monica, hey, I want you to squat. When you come out of your squat, instead of looking down, look up to kind of, put yourself back and get better posture, and then push your knees out so you can displace more leverage on the hips and not just be so quad dominant or, cause those knees to go inward and put too much strain in the wrong areas of the body. That would then trigger, okay, hopefully getting that feedback that would trigger yourself to be more effective with your movement and to do a better job with what you're trying to do. So afferent is taking information in, whether it's, outside stimulus, sensations, feelings, or verbiage or anything like that. And then efferent is going to send those signals out, okay? So what hopefully you see from the first video to the last video is how she corrected herself, did better, and performed a ton better and was more effective with her squat. Let's check out those videos. We'll talk through them, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is her second attempt. She actually got red lighted for this one, but with her squat, as you see, her descending motion, not much problem with it. She's doing very well. She comes down. Her eye placement, I know sometimes I go back and forth with people, but I think one of the biggest things is when you come up from the hole, you have to look up. Okay, looking down is only going to have you lean forward. And she has that internal knee shift, which is really putting a tough strain on her glutes to get activated and engaged in the movement correctly for better leverage. So now on this attempt, it's the same weight. And as you watch, she goes down, her eye placement's the same, but then she starts to look up, gets her hips through, pushes, and keeps her knees out, and is much more successful. Okay, so hopefully you got a chance to watch those videos. Big picture, a great thing about giving feedback and to coach someone or educate them is to hopefully let them self-diagnose themselves as well. And what we're talking about with that is maybe they can become more dependent on themselves so that, they grow and develop and they can figure those things out. Maybe they can watch their own footage at competitions. So if you're competing in a certain kind of, powerlifting or strongman, you can watch the video and say, hey, I should have done a better job with this, this, and this. And they can self-diagnose and then get better and then perform better on their own. For me, I love that feedback and educating people is kind of like a platform, or not a platform, but I love that I have the platform to educate and kind of coach people through some stuff, because at the end of the day, I think it's foolish to think I'll be working with this person for, years and decades and, for that amount of time. I want them to learn, grow, and develop and find value in what I give them, and then they can, grow and develop in themselves as well. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the little comparison of how the nervous system's integrated with feedback and how it can cause the body to react differently and to adapt and to become more effective with stronger movement to build you into your strongest self.